Congrats on the album, man. It's a week out now. How you find the
Yeah,
response?
thanks, man. I think it's been great so far. Seeing the response on a global level again is always exciting. From Canada to the US all the way, over across the pond and way down under. So it's been great.
You know you're going to have to come here now. You've got an award in Tasmania, dude.
I know, but it sucks is our postal services is on strike right now. So I still haven't even received the award, but I know it's waiting for me. And that's on my bucket list. I really hope to make it down in Australia in 2025.
Awesome. So, for people that aren't familiar with you, I'm going to give them a crash course. Um, Imagine outlaw country meets arena rock. You know, that's
I
it.
mean,
That's the best way I can sum it up.
well, I would say, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's country, it's rock or amped up country, or like you said, it's country music with country music with a rock and roll attitude is how I like to describe it sometimes. And it's a mix of Merle Haggard, Eric Church, Bryan Adams, and Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, just don't bite the heads off shit, man.
I don't plan on it.
Now,
Only bottle caps.
there you go. Now you've got some cool guests on the album, which is always a positive for me. Like I like seeing artists collaborate. A lot of fans think it weakens a song. I think it can only improve it because it brings a different aspect. So, how did your collaborators come into these songs for the album? Who invited them? Were there ones that you missed out on?
Well, with something like a song like Guilty, DL and Bad Wolves and I are on the same label. So, how those guys are. They're kicking ass and they're, on the hard rock side. And I just thought that vocally it made sense for DL. He'd be perfect. He's a great vocalist and a good guitar player too, which I didn't know until we started talking and had him on the song. And the fact that he loved the song was just made it that much easier. And a song like "Make My Country Rock," well, I knew I needed another Outlaws and Outsiders, and this was the one. This was a song that describes me best as a little country, a little rock, and kind of riding in my own lane, doing my own thing. And I thought since it was coming out around the same time as of the 50th year anniversary of Outlaws and Outsiders, I thought I need to have maybe we can have that a regroup, of having have the boys are back in town, the
Yeah,
same guys on Outlaws and Outsiders. And I'd made a demo of it when I wrote it the week in Nashville, and I was hanging out with Mick Mars, and we are at Mick's house, and I'm just gonna put this on Do Not Disturb. So I went over to Mick's house, and I was one of the first to hear his new record, which was really cool, and getting to hang out at his own house and seeing our gold record there together on the wall, and amongst his Marshall stacks. And I got to hear his record, and he asked if I had any new music, and I said, "Well, actually, I have a song that if you don't mind, you want to listen to." He said, "Yeah, of course." He loved it. He thought the song kicked ass, and I said, "I had to ask, would you mind laying some guitar on it?" And he said, "Absolutely, man. Give me about a week, and I'll have something for you." So once I got Mick on there, I thought, well, why not get a hold of Travis? And so I sent him the song, and he gave me a call, and he just said that he loved it. He loved everything about it. And he said, in his Georgian accent, well, Cory, it worked out pretty good last time, didn't it? So let's, why don't we try that again? So I said, so here we go. We got Mick, we got Travis. I reached out to Ivan, but he was in Germany out with Metallica, and there was just no way he could get into the studio in time in order to have the song out. So I wanted to find another rock singer, and the label sent over some names, and Sully Erna came up. And him and I both being frontmen, but drummers doing drum solos in our live shows, and being both Rush fans, he was the perfect fit. And I grew up listening to Godsmack, especially playing hockey, and we'd have some of their songs blasting in the dressing room, getting ready to play and getting jacked up for the game. About a week later, I was crossing my fingers, hoping he'd be the guy, and sure enough, I get a text from maybe Sully Erna, and because I didn't have him in my phone yet, of course.
yeah.
Just a long, beautiful text from Sully, thanking me for having him on the track, and that he thinks the track's going to do great wonders for me, and that he loved it, and he said he might even love it more than I do. So I thought that was pretty special, and that's how the whole song came together.
That's amazing, man. Now, you talk about hockey and keeping with the Canadian theme. You're out with the Theory Boys
Yeah,
recently. Our buddy Joe D there. Speaking of
yeah.
drummers, he's the man.
Oh man, Joe's awesome, and I had such a great time with them, seeing them every day, getting out and playing with them every day, and opening up their show. And they're just such awesome guys and such a great band. But having the opportunity to go on stage and sing our song their song that I'm featured on, "Living My Life Like a Country Song," getting up and out to play that and sing with them every night was truly something special. And the tour was just awesome, and I was really thankful to be able to finally get on tour with those guys.
Maybe that's what needs to happen down here, just not acoustic. We'll do an electric
We'll do
Canadian tour.
full band, Cory Marks and Theory of a Dead Man. That'd be pretty kick ass.
I've got one other Canadian band we can throw in there in the mix.
Who would that be?
Have you heard of a band called Took?
Of course, yeah, I know the two guys. Actually, Kevin Churko, uh,
Yep,
one of my producers, his brother Corey is in that
in
band
the
as well.
band.
So yeah,
Yep,
he's incredible.
all
They all
buddies of
are really.
mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they make you sick, don't
Yeah, yeah, man,
they?
they're wicked.
Yeah, so there you go. The triple dream team Canadian tour in Australia.
That'd be pretty fun.
Now you talk about Kevin. I've never seen a guy with more credits on more albums that are successful than Kevin Churko. What is it that when you get into a studio with Kevin, things just work? What is it that works?
Um, I think, like, I mean, for myself, he's just great at what he does, and he cares, and he's passionate, and he's been doing it a long time. And what I think rings with us is the fact that we're both drummers, both Canadian. We love our country and we love our rock. I'm a big Merle Haggard fan and he's a big Steve Earle fan, but we both, love guys like Waylon, of course Merle too. But and I mean, and we both love Ozzy. So we love country, we love rock, and I think we were just that perfect duo. And he knows what he's doing, and he taught me a lot. And I've always said that he's got that ability to make a good song great, and he does it every time.
Have you ever thought of reworking Mama I'm Coming Home, being you're an Aussie fan?
I absolutely have. The last 2 years I've been adding that in my set and playing it live, and it's funny how I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and then I think Carrie Underwood just decided to cover it, did a country version of it, and some other hard rock band did it. So I was kind of like, shit. Well, I've been playing it for over 2 years, and now so I was kind of like, I don't know if there's a point in it being some of the bigger names and country and rock have covered it, but I think it would be quite unique and special if I had the opportunity to do that one with Kevin.
Awesome. Now, were there any other names out there for collaborations on this album? Like even with writing, was there someone you wanted to write with that you couldn't make happen?
Um, Not, you know what? I think things happen for a reason, and I've met a lot of people over the years, and a lot of great songwriters, and I'm fortunate enough to be working with a lot of them. And every single person on this album, I really am grateful for, and um, just had I think they bring the best out of me both in songwriting and performance, and there's a little bit of everybody and everything on this record. So I'm not sure what the future holds as far as more collaborations and getting to write with certain people, but um, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's a mystery, but hopefully 2025 is another amazing year, and we'll see what we get on the next one.
What was the song that just really came easiest, and what was the one that you thought you weren't going to get over the line for the album?
The easiest one to write was probably "Late Night of Drinking Again," and that's the oldest one on the record. I was going through a kind of a breakup and tough time this 7 8 years ago, whatever. It's probably longer than that now, 8 or 9 years ago, which is crazy to think of. And it was in 2016 or 2017, and I remember coming down the stairs, feeling haggard, no pun intended, but sitting down at the table, grabbing my guitar, and I remember just started playing this rhythm and literally staring at a empty bottle of Jack Daniels. And "Late Night of Drinking Again" was just one that was it just came naturally. It just came out, and it took me maybe 20 minutes. And I thought, this is a country song. This one is, and that's probably the quickest one on the album. One of my favorites, just because of, it's almost like a nod to my favorite country singer-songwriter, Merle Haggard. But I think, another one that I never, all these songs I want, it was tough because these 13 songs are my favorite out of probably around 100 songs that I've written over the last, well, with that one included, several years. So there's still some that I'd like to cut and I'd like the world to hear, which most likely will be on the following record. And who knows, maybe that's somewhere in the middle of 2026 would be great for me. But all I could say is these are my 13 favorite that I wanted the world to hear first. What I've been working on the last 4 years, and again, see what happens with it, and hopefully the world loves it. Both, Canadian American, Australian, wherever you are in the world, and whatever kind of music you listen to. I hope you love the CD, this album as much as I do.
Awesome, man. Now you've got a video out. Are you a person who enjoys making videos, or do you see them as like a necessary evil?
I mean, it depends. I mean, if you got a solid budget and team around you, it can be a lot of fun. And but I've always admired doing those music videos because it's a lot of fun to try to either give another angle, different angle to the listener. As where you listen to the song, you might think it's one thing, but the video can make it seem like another. But it's also I'll also find it fun to give the listener a better image of what, let's say, I'm trying to say or where I'm coming from with the song. And I've always wanted to dip my toes into acting too. So I hope with these videos, there's some acting roles that come along with it, and they're always fun. They're always a good time.
Awesome. Now touring plans. You've got a few dates out and about. What's 2025 going to shape up like for you?
I hope it's my busiest year yet. We just announced a European tour, so it's looking like around 12 or so shows the first and second week of March. And I just announced a Quebec tour up here in Quebec, Canada. That's about another 7 shows, about a 10-day tour. And like I said earlier, my plan is to make it down in Australia at some point in 2025. But hopefully, I have a busy schedule here in Canada and the US as well.
Awesome, man. Now, I think the last time we spoke, you're about to go jump in your plane.
I'm doing that tomorrow.
So tomorrow, so how's that going? How's the flying going?
Well, I'm not flying nearly as much as I'd like to, but I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. The weather here over the last almost 2 weeks have just been dark and snowy and more like November weather, unfortunately. So it's kind of been dark and gloomy and snowy and rain and all kinds of stuff. But today's sunny, and tomorrow to Saturday is looking great too. So it's great flying weather. So I'm sure I'm gonna have a good time up there because I always do.
Is the plan to be like Bruce Dickinson and just fly yourself to gigs?
That'd be nice. Maybe eventually once the hits and royalty checks start rolling in, then maybe I can consider getting my commercial pilot license and having that roll too. That'd be a lot of fun.
Spraying a logo on the side of your plane, just be really offensive rock star style.
Sponsored by Jack Daniels.
Sponsored by Jack Daniels. Yeah, I can see the regulatory body waiting with the breath test before you step on the
Yeah,
plane.
yeah, exactly.
All right,
I'd
man.
be good.
I'm going to let you go. I've got to say congratulations from me, who is my wife likes a lot of country music, so I hear it sort of by proxy.
Right.
I love the last album, but this album really, really stepped it up for me as a listener. There's
Thank you.
like it's just melody central, dude. There's so many hooks.
Oh, well, thanks. Thank you, man. I think this song too, I think there's a handful of Churko songs on there. There's Baylis. I think too, like a lot of these songs really allowed me to like I always try to write straight from the heart, and what I know. And but I've grown up on great music that you have to have a solid verse that sets up a great chorus, and you got to have some hooks or bridges in there. And for the most part, I think that kind of lags in the newer music. I mean, especially in the country music world, it's more on the pop side of things. So I mean, again, I'm just making music that I love, and I hope the world loves it too. So I appreciate it, Andrew, and thank you very much for listening. And I hope
Awesome,
to
man.
be making my way down there in 2025.
Excellent, man. Hopefully I'll see you soon. If not, I'll talk to you soon.
You betcha, brother. Thank you,
Yes,
and
man.
Merry Christmas
You
and a
too,
Happy New
man.
Year, and hope to see you then.
But we're going to manifest you here in 2025, man.
That sounds great.
Thanks, man. See ya.
All right, brother.
Bye.
Cheers.